So me, 21-year-old female, and my boyfriend, 22-year-old male, have been together for about 2 years. We have spent 2 summers together, and this year will be our third. I love being with him. He's kind, gentle, and most of the time doesn't bother me about anything I'm doing. The only thing that's been stressing me out for months is the holiday season, when we don't have university, February, March, July, October, and I want to use that time for traveling. I save up every year for it. He has never had a problem with what I wear, but somehow it bothers him that I might be seen swimming in public, like at the beach or a hotel pool. He wants to be there with me, and in his opinion, I should be wearing a swimsuit, without an open back or cleavage. You know, the granny ones, paired with swim shorts. I have already told him that it's ridiculous, and I would never wear such ugly stuff. Also, my parents or friends who I vacation with would notice the change and start asking questions, which would make him look bad. During the first summer we started dating, I did some city trips, so no swimming. But last summer I went with a friend of mine to Southern Europe, and that's when everything started. He said to me that he wouldn't let me see his parents anymore if I wore short dresses or a bikini to the beach. He even wanted to check my suitcase. I avoided this with a trick, after which he got mad at me. I obviously still packed dresses and swimming attire. During the trip, he always checked my location and saw that my friend and I went to a beach. He made a big fuss about how I am a hypocrite, saying he ruined the whole experience. I tried hard to not let my friend know, so he wouldn't look bad for making such a fuss about clothing. This holiday, we wanted to go somewhere warm, but the options are obviously restricted when you are a student and don't have tons of money to rent a house with a private pool. He just said we could do this after our studies, because then we would have enough money. Obviously, I'm not waiting for that, and I think the whole fun of vacationing is to not rot away in some stupid holiday house just for privacy. I'm getting progressively more mad. I'm not giving up on beautiful vacations just because some people I don't even know will see me in a bikini for like 2 weeks a year. My friend and I are planning a road trip on the west coast of the US. This has been a dream of mine ever since. His first question was if we planned to go swimming. Of course, I plan to. What else should I do in California, etc.? I said I don't want to miss out on opportunities and memories. So he said then I would miss out on something else, referring to marrying him. LOL. He always blocks discussions, pointing out the norms of his parents. He's Arab and that they would never accept it if they saw their future daughter-in-law in a bikini. That whole thing is so frustrating to me. I like traveling, and now I'm young and I want to see the world, preferably with him. But because of his stupid beach law, destinations are limited, so I'm doing it with others and must lie to him. I don't even party or wear super revealing stuff, etc. It's really all about going to the beach, which would only take up a few days of the year. What should I do? Besides this, everything's great, and I surely don't want the relationship to end because of this. Now for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. I think you need to sit down with him and have a talk on how he envisions married life. What does a wife mean to him? How does he think decisions should be made? Is the husband the final decision maker? What is the division of labor in the home? Will you continue working? What happens if you disrespect him by being autonomous? My worry is that this will worsen if you stay until marriage. Once you are his wife, will you be considered his property? How much control does he expect to have over you and the children? What about his parents? Will you be expected to honor and serve them? Comment 2. He searched through your suitcase, and you just stood there, watching him go through your things and still thought, yes, I want to be in this relationship with this man. What? For most people, that would have been a moment of clarity. Look at how much he already controls you, to the point where you're sneaking around and telling half-truths to your friends and family. Is this who you are, OP? A liar, a sneak? I don't think you are. I think you're behaving like someone who is trapped, so set yourself free. Now, for the update. Thanks for all the comments on my last post. They really helped me think things through. So, things have been pretty tense since I last wrote. My boyfriend and I had a huge fight about the upcoming road trip with my friend. He actually tried to give me an ultimatum. Cancel the trip or we're done. Can you believe that? I was so mad. I almost called it quits right then and there. But I didn't. I love him, you know? And it's not like he's always this controlling. It's just this one thing that sets him off. Anyway, I told him I'm still going and he didn't break up with me, but we haven't really talked much since. In the meantime, I've been busy planning the trip. My friend and I have been mapping out all the places we want to see. We're going to start in San Francisco and make our way down to San Diego, hitting all the beaches and cool spots along the way. I've been saving up for this for so long and I'm not letting anything ruin it. But then, something happened that I didn't expect. My boyfriend's sister, who I'm pretty close with, called me out of the blue. She told me that their parents had been asking about me and the trip. I guess my boyfriend had been talking to them about it. She said they were really traditional and wouldn't understand me wanting to go to the beach in a bikini. She even said they might not welcome me into the family if they found out, like I felt so trapped. I mean, I don't want to cause problems between him and his family. But at the same time, I shouldn't have to change who I am, right? It's not like I'm doing anything wrong. I'm just going on vacation. So I had a decision to make. I could either lie to my boyfriend and his family about the trip, or I could be honest and risk causing a huge rift. I thought about it for days, going back and forth, and it was all I could think about. Then my boyfriend did something that really shocked me, how he apologized. He said he'd been talking to his sister, and she made him see how unfair he was being to me. He said he still wasn't comfortable with the idea of me in a bikini on the beach, but he didn't want to lose me over it. He even offered to come with us on the trip, as long as I agreed to wear a one-piece instead of a bikini. I was so surprised. I mean, it was still a compromise, but it was a huge step for him. And it showed me that he really did care about me and our relationship. It wasn't just about controlling me or making me fit into his family's expectations. So I agreed. I told him I'd wear a one-piece and he could come with us. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it was a solution we could both live with. And honestly, I was just relieved that we could move past this and enjoy the trip together. We're leaving in a few weeks, and I'm so excited. It's not going to be the exact trip I had planned, but it's going to be an adventure. And who knows, maybe this will be a turning point for us. Maybe we can find a way to blend our different backgrounds and make it work. Anyway, thanks for reading. It feels good to get all this off my chest. Aita for dumping my boyfriend after he showed up uninvited, because he thought I was cheating. I've, 28-year-old woman, been seeing a guy, 28-year-old man, for about 5 weeks. We shared locations because he was on a work trip for 2 of those weeks and wanted me to be able to see when he was on the job site and whatnot. I reciprocated because I share my location with a ton of friends and family. The other day he asked to hang out. I said I wasn't feeling great and wanted to stay home. About an hour later, my one girlfriend texted me and asked me to go grab a drink and some dinner. And I was feeling better and decided to catch up with her. I didn't let the guy know because we don't really keep tabs or update each other on our whereabouts like that. He texted me about halfway through dinner and asked what I was up to. But my phone was in my bag and I didn't check it until I got home. I got home at around 7 p.m. and went to text him and noticed his location said my city, which is weird because he lives about a 25-minute drive from me. So I clicked on it and he was at a park about a block from my house. I texted him and asked why he was there, and he said he was waiting for me to get home. And then he pulled up to my house, parked on the street, and texted me asking if we could talk, and asked why I was at the bar for 2 hours when I said I was sick. I was scared, so I locked my doors and texted him, asking him to leave, which he did. He got home and apologized, said that I wasn't texting back, and he went to the bar to see who I was with. But I had already left when he got there. He has an ex who cheated on him, and he thought I was cheating. But I was just with a girlfriend, and didn't feel the need to update him on my every move, since we haven't been seeing each other for that long. And we hadn't talked about defining our relationship and have only been seeing each other for a little over a month. He said he didn't text or call first because he wanted to see with his own eyes who I was with, and so I couldn't lie my way out of it, which is concerning to me. We haven't known each other that long, and it's weird to just follow someone around like that. I obviously turned off my location, and he has apologized profusely, but I don't know what to do. He seems nice and was genuine in his apology, but this seems like controlling behavior so early on. He says he's never like this, but he just has PTSD from his ex cheating and felt like he was back in that moment. Should I give this guy the benefit of the doubt or run? Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. For your safety, please do not share your location with anyone who is not familiar with you, such as a close friend or family member. It is not safe. Women are harmed every day by unpredictable men. Take care of yourself and learn from this mistake. Comment 2. Even if his story is 100% true and he has cheater post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, he looked up your location, drove to your city, and sat outside the bar without you informing him about it, all because you did not text him back quickly enough. The man is unstable. Now, for the update. Thanks for sticking around for this update. So, after the whole location tracking fiasco, things took a turn for the worse. With my friend, let's call her Sarah, who's been acting strange lately. She's been my confidant through this whole mess with the guy I've been seeing, but her behavior started to shift in a way that made me question her intentions. Sarah, who's always been the supportive type, began to show a different side. She started spreading rumors about me, saying I was the one being paranoid and overreacting about the guy following me. It was like she was trying to stir up drama, telling mutual friends that I was the one with trust issues. I couldn't believe it. Sarah, who I trusted with my deepest concerns, was now painting me as the villain in my own story. It didn't stop there. One evening I ran into her at the grocery store and she had the nerve to confront me about overreacting to the guy's behavior. She said I was being unfair to him, that he was just scared of being hurt again. I was stunned. How could she take his side after everything I'd told her? But here's where things got really twisted. I found out that Sarah had been seeing him behind my back. It all clicked when I remembered her asking peculiar questions about him, like what he liked and if we were serious. I felt betrayed. Not only was she undermining me to our friends, but she was also going after the guy I was seeing. I confronted her and she didn't even deny it. She said they had connected over their shared experiences with cheating exes. I was livid. How could she do this to me? I thought she was my friend, but she was just waiting for an opportunity to swoop in. I decided to take action. I gathered all the evidence of her two-faced behavior and showed it to our circle of friends. I wanted them to see the real Sarah. It was a bold move, but I needed to clear my name and expose her deceit. The fallout was immediate. Friends who had doubted me started to apologize, saying they couldn't believe Sarah would do something like that. In the aftermath, Sarah's reputation took a hit. People saw her for who she really was, and she lost a lot of friends. As for the guy, I cut him off completely. It was clear that he and Sarah deserved each other, both with their sneaky ways and lack of respect for boundaries. Just when I thought things couldn't get any more dramatic, Sarah's actions caught up with her in a big way. Turns out, she had been lying to the guy as well, telling him that I was okay with them seeing each other. When he found out the truth, that I was actually devastated and felt betrayed, he was furious. He confronted her, and they had a huge public argument that ended with him storming off and her standing there humiliated. I watched from a distance as Sarah's web of lies unraveled. It was a harsh lesson for her, but it seemed like she finally understood the consequences of her actions. As for me, I felt a sense of relief. I was free from the drama and could finally move on with my life. Thanks for reading this update. Aita for dumping my boyfriend after discovering he's still hung up on his high school crush. 2 months ago, my partner, 20-year-old male, and I, 22-year-old female, got in a heated argument, or rather I got angry at him, after finding out through another mutual friend that one of his female best friends was his high school unrequited love. We're in our second year of college now, and they've known each other since middle school. My friend had brought it up casually, but thinking about the context and tone, she definitely meant in a way to tell me, "Oh, it's weird you don't know about this." The first time my boyfriend had brought up his best friend was the first week we started dating, and I had mentioned wanting to go to a night market. He got all excited and started bragging about his best friend, praising her for being so talented and cool, and that she would be performing at the night market too. We never ended up going, but that moment always stuck with me. I was in a very toxic and hurtful relationship prior to meeting him. So I thought my gut feeling was just me overthinking, and that it's nice he's proud of his friends. Ever since then, I've always thought it was weird that out of all his female friends, He never actually introduced me to her or would tell me about her the way he would his other girl best friend, who was like a sister and came to all our family parties. It even seemed strange to me that out of all his friends, she was the only girl who he had followed all of her social media accounts and vice versa. After finding out about this through my friend, I had confronted him myself. I asked him if it was true, and honestly, I would have much preferred he get defensive and insist I was overthinking. But instead, when I asked him if it was true, she was his unrequited love. He had a face of guilt. I wouldn't say it looked remorseful for not having told me himself, but rather that it was true he did have unrequited feelings for her. It was devastating to me. I found out more about how close they really were, that she lived right down the street from him, told her secrets he kept from me, that she even calls him by the same nickname only I have ever heard me call him. He insisted that he didn't talk to her since we had left for college 2 years ago, but that he did try to see her one last time a year into dating me and never told me about it. Ever since that argument, he removed her completely from social media. He keeps telling me that he loves me and that he chose me. I'm trying to believe the best in him, but he has a consistent history of settling in relationships with girls he doesn't really have feelings for, but promises that he wants to be with me. I know part of it is me being insecure, but also it's the fact that he had kept her close the entire time with repressed feelings, all while being with me. That he had hid the truth about how close they were. It's hard because his friends had described to me his dream girl characteristics in the past. I thought most of it fit me, but looking now, everything they said was her down to every detail. Even his celebrity crushes look just like her. She's a natural beauty, talented and loved by everyone in his life. My hair is dyed, he has never praised me for any of my hobbies or talents, and I've never hung out with his friends the entire 3 years we've been together. I'm not sure if this is what you call imposter syndrome. I don't think I'm good enough for my boyfriend because I'm not his unrequited love that fits all the boxes of the perfect girl for him. I've been struggling trying to figure out if this is something you can work through and grow from, or if it's just something that eventually drains me completely, and I end up just checking out of the relationship. My biggest fear is reaching the point where I feel so unworthy. I just check out and he leaves me. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. I'm sorry to say this, but I think you need to end this relationship. After finding out this information, you are always going to second-guess everything or compare yourself to this other woman, and that's not fair to you. In a healthy relationship, you should be secure and confident and feel loved, not being worried about their feelings for another person. I think you will end up causing yourself harm with your mental health if this continues. Comment 2. From the perspective of someone with 3 decades more life experience, you are someone's dream girl. That's the person who deserves your heart. I know it's so hard to see it when you're in it, but this relationship is likely one of several you will have. Choose what you want to learn from it, but please don't settle. These issues rarely get resolved, and a little heartache now beats a lot of heartache later. Edit. Typo now for the update. Thanks for sticking around. A lot has happened since the last post. 3 days ago, I caught him. My boyfriend, the one I thought had cut ties with his past, was messaging her again. The girl down the street, the one he couldn't seem to forget. I found out because he left his phone unlocked on the couch, and a message popped up with that nickname, the one that was supposed to be mine. I couldn't help myself. I read their conversation. It was like a punch in the gut. They were planning to meet up, reminiscing about old times. He was lying to me after all his promises. I confronted him and the fight was explosive. He tried to explain, said it was just a friendly catch-up, but I couldn't hear it over the betrayal. The next day, I was a mess. Skipped classes, ignored calls from friends, and just sat there trying to piece together where it all went wrong. That's when my phone rang, and it was his sister, the one who always treated me like family. She had heard about the fight and wanted to check on me. We talked for hours, and she confessed she never liked how her brother treated his girlfriends, always keeping them on the back burner. She said I deserved better. I spent that night at her place, away from the apartment I shared with him. It was strange being comforted by his family, but it felt right too. She told me stories about their childhood, how he always got what he wanted, and if he didn't, he'd find a way to take it. It was a pattern, and I was just the latest casualty. On the third day, I made a decision. I went back to our apartment while he was out, packed my things, and left. I left a note, simple and to the point. I told him I couldn't be with someone who couldn't be honest with me, who couldn't let go of a ghost from his past. His sister helped me move my stuff to a friend's place. That evening, he came to find me. He was angry, said I was overreacting, that I was throwing away something good. But I saw it in his eyes, the same look he had when I first confronted him about her. He wasn't sorry for what he did. He was sorry he got caught. His sister called later, said he'd gone to their parents' house and there was a huge fight. He was blaming everyone but himself. His parents were shocked. They never saw this side of him, always the golden boy. But his sister stood by me, said it was time they saw the truth. Now I'm staying with my friend, trying to figure out my next move. It's hard, but I'm starting to feel a weight lifting off my shoulders. I'm done with the lies, the secrets, and feeling like I'm second best. It's over and I'm moving on. Thanks for reading. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.